Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala syarafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are still continuing our program to train 12,000 PIP life coaches all over the world, inshallah, through our free life coach training program. You go to our islamicspsychology.net and you can register. It's quite easy to do, and we have 4 modules, more than 600 videos already, inshallah. So we have our PIP certified life coach. Out of the 600 videos, you can select motivational video, coaching video, mentoring video, or counseling video, or a mix of it, and then inshallah you can then pick 30 videos or your own research or your own project paper, submit to us, and do one practicum, life practicum, whether it is you're coaching or you're mentoring or you're counseling or you're giving a talk to a group of students. That is enough for us to know that you are practically applying our positive Islamic psychology methodology, and inshallah you will get a certified life coach to improve your curriculum vitae. Also then you serve the mosque, the community, and so on, and also as a career, a life coach as a career, inshallah, in the future. So we also now, because I finished all the 4 modules, that means we have finished the motivation module, coaching module, mentoring module, counseling module. Now we are creating a new base of Islamic research, that means psychology research PIP. This is a new YouTube, alright, psychology research PIP, but we still continue with our Islamic psychology PIP. The video number now is 400 plus, but this will be just starting as video number 1, number 2, and so on, because we want to have easier for you, because we have to go to all our videos in Islamic psychology PIP. There alone there's 400 over videos. We have 150 videos in Islamic motivation PIP separate, and then we have Islamic PIP Da'wah separate. Now we have another YouTube channel, Islamic, psychology research PIP. So what we do, as I explained before, is that we want to pick 6 areas of research which is relevant to positive Islamic psychology and relevant for the Ummah as we face the challenges of the 21st century. So the 6 areas are research on consciousness, research on mind-body interaction, research on the heart-based our CULP research, positive cognitive behavior therapy, PICBT research, spiritual, emotional, mental integration research, how we integrate ourselves as an integrated holistic human being, and then positive Islamic psychology research. All this dwell on societal issues, ummatic issues, civilizational issues, and issues that we have to face as we live in this 21st century, which is radically different from the 7th century Arabia, or even the 18th century, or the 19th, or even the 20th century. There is an acceleration of change that we have to face, like it or not, in the 21st and 22nd century, where there will be many new things in which we have to then reframe our role as a positive ummah in the 21st century and 22nd century. So that is where these are the areas of research which I am going to elucidate from time to time. If I have material on Islamic psychology, positive Islamic, I will use that. If I have material on consciousness, so we will just jumble about, but each of them will collect according to the subheading. So if it's consciousness research, is all about consciousness, and so on. But remember, human being is integrated. We have our consciousness in our spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical self. So I'm just splitting this up just to give you some flavor for you then to be able to do your research, your own personal research, and then you can then become expert in certain areas in which we are going to discuss. So today I'm going to give you an idea of positive Islamic psychology research, number 6. Alright, so what are the things that we need to do in terms of our research? Positive transformation levels. Alright, within an Islamic worldview, our tenets of Islam, we know that we have levels of existence. Alright, not only the levels of existence at the self also, there is already the levels at the animal level, and amoeba level, insect level, and then going downwards into mineral level, crystals, atomic level, and so on. So this is on the, I'm taking the self as the center, but in Islamic metaphysics, yeah, even going down into the atomic, there is the atomic sciences of Islam, which are radically different from the atomic sciences that you see today, but it can be adapted because it has succinctly explained very deep understanding of the nature of this universe. So we have a transformational program at the self. What role do truly practicing Muslim have to do with this existence in the 21st and 22nd century, where you have artificial intelligence, you have robotics, you have surveillance, Orwellian, you can now with facial recognition, they can survey, they can have surveillance algorithm, all right, with this integration of surveillance, artificial intelligence. Who is going to control the world, and how you as an individual will then help to shape a better world rather than an Orwellian world, a world of suspicion, a world of oppression, a world of injustice. So the role of individual self now is so critical today, and how you play that role as a Muslim and a mu'min will then shape this civilization, because we are, for Muslims, we are 1.7 billion, 1/4 of humanity are Muslims. So how are we going to play that positive role in shaping this civilization, so that first, as at the level of the self, we are a living entity, an understanding and having a good, wonderful, balanced life in this world. So the self is very important. Then as I say, I will explain in the detail. Then we have, what is the role of the family system? Then what are the role of the society and ummah? What are the role at the global level and the universe level? But as we go upward into these levels, each and every one of them has challenges and has opportunities. So we have both challenges and opportunities. We have both negative aspect, we have positive aspect. So how are we going to do our psychology, forming the mindset of each individual Muslim within the framework of positive psychology to lead a good life and to contribute towards the development of a society and the global world, or globalization, and the universe that is consonant with the grace and the mercy and the love of Allah. Because Allah allows us to choose. We are given the choice to become a believer or become a disbeliever. We are giving a choice to do hasanah, do good, or we are also giving a choice to do evil. Alright? But unfortunately, the 19th, 20th and 21st century civilization is directed towards the fulfillment of greed and ego and injustice. So the mental framework, the psychology of a modern human being is greed, alright, desire, passion, and selfishness. So these are the qualities that is actually destructive. If this continue, that means this civilization will not be able to exist, maybe another 100 years or so. So what is important is how we're going to frame the role of this individual, the family, societal, global, and I'm going to give you some pointers based on what we have presented to you. For example, this is our positive Islamic psychology model, which I have explained many times, how the total past learning history, that we, as this is us, alright, the self, that we have our 4 levels, our physical self, our spirit, our heart, our mind, and then this all our action in terms of perception comes from the physical environment, social, intra and intersocial environment affects perception, inner speech from ourselves, the feedback loop, alright, and then how this affects behavior. So understand this model, we can then shape a positive transformational program for individual, for family, for society, and for the world. So this is the first base in which you can reflect upon and improve upon. That means this is our positive Islamic psychology model. Alright, and then within this model we explain the 4 realms of our existence. That as we exist on this earth, we have our physical self, the jasad, we have our akal, our mind, we have our qalb, and then we have our ruh. So we are living both in the spiritual realm and the physical realm, fused together as we exist on this physical world. So again, this is a model that we are presenting, and then how you can then shape the positive values within the 4 realms of existence. Alright, and we also given to you in the past videos what we call the spiritual, emotional, mental and physical iceberg. The physical self is actually very small, but we put it quite big here. These are the outward behavior. So the visible self is actually a tiny weeny bits of our true existence, but we have our existence at the spiritual, emotional, mental and subconscious self, where our non-visible are perception, attitude, values, beliefs, inward behaviors and states, our states, our hal within the Islamic metaphysics, and how we can then use this as a base of transformational tool, applying various transformational tool, various psychological techniques, practical application that we can shape towards the positive value system of the self, the family, the ummah and global community. And then we also can relate this, because in our research we also must relate. For example, one of most of the influential thinker of the 20th century is Carl Jung. So Carl Jung, has given his idea of consciousness, personal unconsciousness, collective unconsciousness, which has some reference to the idea of what we see as a nature of human being, as a persona, as a psyche. So he has given his outlook insofar as some of it is quite close to the Islamic values, some of it is far off, but we can then do research and then how we want to integrate, for example, Carl Jung idea with the Islamic idea of psychology and the psyche. For example, he says consciousness, the conscious stream, one's fields of awareness consisting of psychic content of one that has knowledge. That is Carl Jung idea. Then we have the personal unconsciousness, the unconscious psychic content, which one is an unaware, so unconscious and collective unconscious, and then you have this collective unconscious at the bottom. Alright, so this whole spectrum of the nature or the hierarchy of being is being explained by Carl Jung. And when we do research, we can then draw on this Western philosophy and Western psychology together with the nature of transcendent, integrated nature of Islamic psychology, and how then we can frame a positive Islamic psychology modality. Alright, then we have explained to you in many other videos how our nafs, as we operate on this earth, start at the operational level of the physical level, then the mind, then the heart, and then the ruh. And this is a cycle of existence as we live on this earth. So from here we can see that there is a lot of area of research. I'm just giving you a taste of how we can apply some of these collective ideas that I have mentioned in so many videos, and then you frame your understanding of this transformational aspect that we can understand insofar as how we're going to affect ourselves, our family, our society and the ummah, the global and the universe. And starting with the self, we can then have a wonderful positive Islamic psychology approach to transform the ummah in the 21st century. That is our goal. So this research is open to all of you. I'm just giving you a taste of what are the potentialities and the framework in which you can work. And this is not the final framework. I remember these are just tastes from the various videos, of more than 600 videos that I have uploaded. And if you are really keen in studying all this understanding of the nature of positive Islamic psychology, then inshallah you can then frame a better idea, do more research papers, do your master's or PhD, and then develop a worldview, psychology, the psyche of an ummah that is progressive, that is productive, that is peaceful, that is loving, that is caring, that is full of justice. We try to recreate the goodness of this world insofar as a Jannah on this earth. No doubt it is a very difficult task, but we should not dwell on the negativity of how we are being shaped by hatred, sectarianism and so on. So I will go into the nature of the self insofar as how we want to shape the transformational program for the ummah, inshallah, in the next video. Remember, we are all the servants of Allah, the steward of Allah, that He has created us to be His Khalifa on this earth, always striving to make ourselves good, helping others to be good and making the world good, inshallah.